Good day. I hope all is going well for you and that you all are continuing your practice. I've been thinking about you so much, and I don't know if y'all miss me as much as I miss you. But I did share with some of you that I would be creating videos to share with you to help keep your practice going, at least to just have you have someone, me, to move with, when you're ready. And so they'll just be short clips of things that you can do that will be helpful, things that we've gone over already, just little reminders, and me to just give you a little encouragement along the way. I thought today that we'll just start off with our standing, being in alignment with standing. So we'll do that. All right, let's go. And so when you're in, just at home doing normal things, and these are the ways that you take your practice off the mat, right? So we're practicing today, but when you're standing at the sink doing dishes, when you're in the kitchen preparing your meals, cutting up your veggies, just be mindful of the weight that you're putting on your knees and on your spine, on your feet, your hips. And so we want to bring balance and alignment in that space, and we do that by being in Tadasana. Remember, so feet are hip distance apart. Some of us think we have wider hips than we do, and we tend to stand like this. But go ahead and bring those feet to hip, right up under the hips, okay? And feel the balance there. Bring your weight distribution between the heels and the balls of the big toe and the little toe. Go ahead and spread the toes. And so you feel just that sensation and what that feels like. And just notice in your body without moving anything at all if your knees are locked out. A lot of us tend to lock those knees out and let those knees press back like this, right? And so instead of bending the knees or even putting a gentle bend in the knees, like as I cue sometimes, all that means is take that lock out the knee, right? So this is locked and this is unlocked. This is locked and this is unlocked. So it's real subtle movements. Remember, we practice subtly moving so that we can actually feel these movements in the body. So locked, unlocked, locked, unlocked, right? So you don't have to do this and create that posterior tilt in the hips, right? You just unlock, unlock, unlock. That's the gentle bend. And when you unlock, it might feel a little unstable because you're used to standing like this. But when you unlock, just go ahead and press down the weight, right? In the heel, the mounds of the big toe and the little toe. And then remember that sensation that I talked about before? It's almost like you're going to spread the feet out, but they're not moving. And what it's doing is engaging those leg muscles even more, even those stabilizing muscles around the knees. And so just engage there for a moment and just feel that. Just push out, sensation of moving out, 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 out. Okay? And just kind of settle in and feel that balance in the lower part of the body. Another thing we want to be mindful of when we're standing is a lot of us tend to arch that low back and, let that tailbone kind of flip up and back this way. And then we have a hyper extension going on, that arch, a hyper tilt of the anterior. And so what we want to do, so it's like kind of a lordosis looking thing going on. We just want to lengthen the tailbone. And we do that, just you can put your hand there so that you can feel the tailbone go long. At the same time, what's happening out, you heard me cue, excuse me, hips toward, pubic bone toward navel, right? So we're not tucking and going forward. This is lengthening. We're lengthening the tailbone and we're engaging our abdomen, right? Pubic bone toward navel, so it's upward, not out, okay? And so that's one thing. Grounded feet, engage those legs, no locking in the knees, gentle knees, right? Be gentle with those knees because those are our stabilizing muscles that help us balance, okay? And so we're just standing here for a moment. And this, it may feel strange, right? Because you're not used to standing that way. So just stand in that for a moment and then start to lift up out of the low back and just stand there and feel that for a moment. Okay. Maybe find something straight ahead to focus on. So, or if you're doing your dishes, you're just standing there. If you're slicing up your veggies, you're just standing there and you're in your body, feeling that sensation of being grounded and being balanced. Okay. The next part of that is lengthening the whole spine, right? The full length of the spine. So a lot of us tend to let our heads go back a lot, compressing that cervical spine, right? We want to lengthen that spine. And so just let the chin come down a little bit. It's not tucking the chin, right? It's not forward folding or forward bending, right? It's just a little slight dip of the chin, a tilt, if you will, right? And it's almost like if I had my hand on the back of your head, or just imagine taking the back of your head toward the wall. So it's like lift up, a lift up of the spine, and it goes back. And that automatically has that chin tilt here, right? So it's not this, take your head back. It's not the crown of your head or the top of your head that's going back. It's the back of your head. It's almost like you're pushing my hand away with the back of your head, which is lifting up that cervical spine. So instead of being here, right, you do this here and lift up here, here. From the side, here, here, okay? And you're engaging, right? Those back muscles. Remember we talk about those superficial muscles in the back, your rhomboid muscles that retract the shoulder blades. We're engaging that to help lift the chest, right? And that's helping with that length there. And that way the shoulders don't go up toward the ears, right? And so we're standing here in Tadasana, anatomical position, right? That rotation outward with the hands so that the hands are forward facing helps keep that retraction in the shoulder blades, helps keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Okay, and now we're in the body and that energy is moving. And if we stand in it long enough, perhaps we could feel the circulation moving differently in the body. We can feel the energy moving, right? We feel the spaciousness in the body. There's nothing prohibiting the energy, movement, and circulation because the knees aren't locked out. That lower back isn't compressed. That cervical spine isn't compressed. Okay? And so just stand in that for a moment. And then you can do that toes forward and heels back. Here. Right? And then just do that sensation moving out. And just feeling that for a moment, that outwardness. Out, out, out. And then you can hold for a moment. Maybe 3 long breaths with it. And then release. Okay. And then do it again. Out, 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 and hold. And release. All right. And so that's one way of strengthening those leg muscles and that balance just by standing, right? Another thing we can do is that same setup in the legs, right? The same Tadasana pose, and maybe using a block. If you don't have a block, um, you can use a book, right? Or just something square and solid, right? That when you put it between your legs, it's there and you're squeezing it. And now we're in. We're squeezing in with those muscles, and it's the same thing. We can make it dynamic. 1, 2, 3, and hold. 3 breaths. And release, right? You could do that in about, for 5 minutes or so. Just squeeze, 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 and hold. 3, 4 breaths. Release. Squeeze, 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 and hold. Let me put it back there just so you can, all right? So this time we're squeeze, 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 and hold. 3 breaths. And release. Okay, and then we do that same thing with the outwardness sensation in the feet, right? Out, 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 and hold. Hold out. 3 long breaths here. Full, deep inhale. 4 long exhale. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely, and one more breath all the way in, like you're sucking that through a straw, your nose straw, straw nose, and all the way out through the nose as well. Release. Okay? And so if you do the one 5 minutes and the other 5 minutes, that's 10 minutes of just subtle leg movements, right, in the lower half of the body, right? And we're in and being conscious of, that natural corset we talked about here, those transverse abdominis. So not sucking in the stomach, which weakens the muscle, but engaging them. And remember, it's that achoo, 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 right? If you sneeze, achoo, right? Then the muscles that engage when you sneeze, and just hold those while you're doing that. Engage in those rhomboid muscles. Remember, all of this is really subtle, right? That's the thing that strengthens the body. It's all of those subtle movements. So we do the gross movements, right? And that's fine, strengthening those big muscles. But it's the subtle movements that help strengthen and stabilize those smaller muscles that really help us balance, help us stand, okay? And so 15 minutes of that. Don't forget the breathing. I'll do a breathing exercise here and we'll end with that. You can start with that exercise and you can end with that exercise, okay? Remembering the alternate nostril breathing, we'll do that at the beginning and at the end, okay? And so for the nostril breathing and meditation, I always like to remove my glasses so there's no external anything in my way, but I especially need to do that for alternate nostril breathing. And so again, remember you can use the mudra, lowering the index, you're using your right hand, lowering your index finger and your middle finger, keeping the pinky and the ring finger up and the thumb out. And if that's too much, you could just leave those two up, but you're using your thumb to close the top part, so right at that nasal bridge of the right nose, and you're using the pinky and the ring finger to close the top part, the nasal bridge of the left nose. So these two fingers can stay up if that's more comfortable for you, the index and middle fingers, or those two fingers can come down if that feels good. And then go ahead and close your eyelids, right? And let the eyelids close and relax, and bring your gaze to a soft focus behind the lids. And so that could be downward, straight ahead, or upward, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And then what we're going to do is just close off the top of that right nostril and exhale out of the left nostril. And now inhale left nostril. Close the left nostril and exhale out of the right nostril. Inhale right nostril and close and exhale out of the left nostril. Inhale left. Close and exhale right. Inhale right. Close and exhale left. And you can continue that. Maybe set your timer again, or maybe you have your internal clock. You can do about 10 of those. The left side and the right side is 1. Or you can do it anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. Maybe start at 2 minutes and build yourself up to 5. If you've been doing it and you're already at 5, maybe build yourself up to 7 to 10 minutes. But the practice is there for as long as you need it. But I would say anywhere between, 5 and 7 minutes is a good practice for this breathing exercise. And so I didn't do it at the beginning of this video, but the next time you get ready to turn this on or just do those standing exercises in the lower body, you can start with that breathing exercise and end with that breathing exercise. And we'll do the top part on another video. So thank you for joining me in this new way of us being together. It's new for me, and I'll work the kinks out along the way. But I just wanted to make sure that we stayed in touch and engaged with each other, and just continue to be joyous and peaceful and loving, and that we take all of that we use on this mat to get us through our session here, right? Through our practice here, that we take all of that loving, compassionate energy out into our day. May it be done and may it be so, and so it is. Ashe.